Hi everyone, welcome to episode 20 of MotorServe UK TV, which is now also our podcast shared on Spotify and all other media platforms. Today we're very excited to welcome Amina Hussain from SME Outsourcing. We're very lucky to have Amina here today and we're really excited for this episode. Amina is a multi-award winning accountant and she's the group CEO of her own firm of accountants in Birmingham, SME Outsourcing. She has over 26 years of experience in accountancy, taxation, insolvency and forensic accounting. She's also set up a finance company, SME Financial Services Limited, and a training company, SME Training Academy, which is now also running alongside with her accountancy firm. Amina has trained and worked in small, medium and large accountancy organisations and is trained to assist across a multi-sector client base. Her career began with a top 10 accountancy firm, then she moved to the Big Four, KPMG, where she was trained and qualified as a forensic accountant and took the route of becoming an insolvency specialist. She was named as one of the 10 leading businesswomen in 2021 by the CIO Times and won the signature Businesswoman of the Year award in 2019. She was also named the British Bangladeshi Entrepreneur of the Year in 2020. She also sits on many roundtable discussions, the last being with Lord Blunkett at the UK Leaders Council, discussing concerns and changes to UK tax policies, which is heard at parliamentary level. Her list of accolades and positions are quite lengthy, and at present she currently sits on as the Governor, a Trustee and the Financial Committee for University College Birmingham. She's the CEO of the Asian Business Board for the British Heart Foundation and she's a member of the Board of Trustees for the Youth Charter. Amina was the Vice President and then the Co-President of the Asian Business Chamber of Commerce in Birmingham, and now she's the Vice President of the Greater Birmingham Global Chamber of Commerce. Phew, that was a lot. So Amina is very established in her field and in the accountancy and business world in Birmingham. We're very excited to have her on today and this is sure to be action-packed and full of information and tips. So let's welcome Amina to MotorServe UK. Hi Amina.
Hi.
Thanks so much for coming over. So your trip from Birmingham today?
Yes, from Edgbaston.
Yeah. Was it very busy or has it been okay?
It's right timing. I think I managed to avoid traffic.
Yeah, we get you here just before rush hour, so it's a good time to travel. But thanks so much for coming. I know how busy you are, so really appreciate it, and really hopefully the listeners and the viewers will appreciate it as well. So thank you very much for your time. So if we could start, because a lot of people know you because of all your positions, because of everything you've done. But I think as a way of an intro, that was quite comprehensive. You're involved in a lot of stuff. Did we miss anything?
A few little things. They're not relevant.
But we got most of it in.
I think so.
The most current stuff, anyway.
The most important things. Yes.
Brilliant. That's good. That's a good start then. What kind of route did you take into accountancy? So was it college, uni?
Yeah. So funny, it was an accident, can you believe that? So
really?
I've always been involved in family businesses. My dad was a very good businessman, so I was always good. It's when the computers came out, and this has gone back in 1994. I was doing Excel spreadsheets for family businesses. Didn't realise I had that natural knack to be an accountant, and it was by accident, by default. So I went to college and I didn't get to finish college. I was quite heavily bullied at college, afraid for my life. And then I took a few months out because you got to restart the new season, the new year. So I was still in the middle of the year and I left college, was bored at home. So I decided to do some MVQ level in business admin just for a laugh, just to see through. And that got me a placement at Smith & Williamson, the top 10 accountancy firm. So my journey started at accountancy firm where they do accountancy and insolvency.
Yeah.
And because it was a corporate environment, you get to meet a lot of important people that you probably would look at as a role model.
Yeah.
And then whilst I was there, I started looking into accountancy, or I wanted to be just like them. And but they were more specialists in insolvency than accounting. But with insolvency and accounting, it's a bit of both. To be a good insolvency practitioner, you got to be a very good. Well, naturally, you should try and be an accountant first. So that was the route I took. I went down the route of AAT. You know, I did my level 1, 2, 3, level 2, 3, and 4. And then KPMG invited me for an interview because I had bit of insolvency experience while I was part qualified accountant. And then in KPMG, I qualified in insolvency CPI. It's pretty much close to insolvency practitioner, but you're qualified to give advice on insolvency. So I remained as an accountant, and then I was embarking a new journey into forensics accounting. So KPMG, being one of the largest firms in the world, it made it easy for me because I had experience in all areas of trading insolvent businesses, restructuring businesses, looking at directors' misconduct, all the things that a normal accountant won't look at. So, and I did that for a good 14 years of my life.
Wow. And that was, how long were you at KPMG? Was that 12 years?
I was there for 8 years.
8 years?
8 years. Yeah. And prior to that, I was with Smith & Williamson. I got trained by two ex-regulators of ICA, EW and IPA. Brilliant. So I got the good training from them before I joined KPMG. So I already had 4 years experience before I joined KPMG.
See, this is really, really refreshing because, do you know what? I've known you for many years now.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought you were going to say, went to college, went to uni, and did this and did that. So I didn't even know that. So that's so refreshing to hear. So you went through basically vocational route.
Yes.
You learned on the job.
I did.
That's really good.
And that's what I and I'll talk about that later on. And I do talk to, when I engage with children from college and universities, especially when they're at college, what route do you want to take? Do you really need to go to university and get £21,000 on student loan minimum? Or do you want to take down the apprenticeship route, which is more admirable now for employers? And back then, it was a thing called, I think people had, I just missed YTS scheme. But then it came this training, go into MVQ level. But to do my accountancy and my insolvency through workplace and education, full-time hours work, and in the evenings I would study. So I didn't give up my full-time job. I got paid.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
And you managed to get into very good firms.
Yes.
And into KPMG, you'd think. KPMG would be a minimum, or you have to have a degree at 2-1 or above. Yeah, that's what
my colleagues were from Cambridge University, Oxford universities. Those were the level of people that I was working with. They were my colleagues, we're on the same level. But because I had 4 years prior experience in insolvency and accounting, I was just slightly ahead of them. And I think I was probably one of the most, back then, I was very lucky to meet another brown person being my colour at KPMG. I think in my department I was one of the first, and then after me another 3 joined. So we had this thing called intranet where you find other people using KPMG. It's a database directory. I think there was amongst 10,000 people, there probably were around about 60 people, South Asian people across the country. So it was different. It was unique for me because they were all white in English, typical white English firm, and I was the only Asian person there. Yeah.
How did you kind of cope with that?
How did I cope? Well, first of all, I dyed my hair red to fit in.
Yeah.
I was 24 years old. Tried to look like them, but one thing, it took me a while to admit to myself that I'm not one of them. And it's not, for me, colour, gender doesn't matter. Even it still doesn't matter. But then I did feel uncomfortable at times, especially month of Ramadan fasting. I found that I hid it. And there was a reason why I hid it. I think people didn't understand the culture I was from. They didn't get it. So I hid a lot of things about myself, and I pretended to be something I wasn't. And I think that's the bit I didn't like. And as I was growing with the firm, I did want to become a partner, and I knew there was no way they would put me in that position, because ahead of me was probably another 8 English men and women who I don't think I would have got that position. So that's when I made that decision. Where do I go from there? Do I stick around? Do I go to another Big Four? Because once you're working for one Big Four, you're open to all of them.
Yeah.
And I thought, do I want to go through the same thing, or do I want to leave now and set my own forensics accounting firm? And that's the new journey I embarked in 2012.
So that's not that long ago.
No,
Well, it doesn't feel that long ago anyway.
It does. It's 12 years. I think it's been 12 years now. And I started off as a forensics accounting firm the first 3 months, and from there I grew my practice. I gained my practice license, because you need one of those to set your own practice.
Yeah.
And because I had the experience in all sectors, I got all my Tier 4 license to do everything I need to as an accountant, to do accounts, taxation, payroll, you name it, we do everything. And I did that because that's the easy part. But the difficult part is, the challenging part was the forensics accounting, which makes it much more interesting. And I think that was my way of gaining bigger clients. I think that's my USP, the unique selling point, forensics. People want to go to people that can give good solid advice on restructuring, advisory, risk takes. The easy part is accounting, I'll be honest. It's not a problem.
More day-to-day stuff.
That's like a walk in the park for me. And I train accountants now as well.
Brilliant. So SME Outsourcing is the name of your firm?
Yes.
So you started off as a forensic accountant?
Yeah.
And then when did it, so that's 2012.
Yeah.
Was that scary coming out of KPMG, coming out of that secure environment, kind of,
so,
cushioned and insulated?
No, it was scary, but my situation didn't allow me to, I had to take that route because my son had an open heart surgery. Because he had an open heart surgery, it's difficult as a mum. I had to make decisions. When I was working at KPMG, I was doing long hours. It's not a 9-to-5 job. You go in at 9, you work until 2 a.m. in the morning. You're taking trolley of work home with you with laptops. And when my son had his open heart surgery, it rooted me back to being a mum. And I thought, well, I can't chase my career and I can't be a mum at the same time. I've got to give in one.
Because this is the thing, isn't it? We've just, all we spoke about so far is like, your career and how you've done.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've been a mum.
Yes.
No, but you've raised a family as well. You've got 2 kids as well. So you did that at the same time.
Yeah.
And then, because was your son, because he was little then, wasn't he? Was he a baby at the time?
Yeah, he was born with a rare heart defect. It was one of the rarest in the world.
Oh my God.
He shouldn't have survived. He survived. He did really well. It took him a while to recover, and during that time, I didn't want to work, but I had to work. I wasn't given a choice. It wasn't easy for me financially. I had to work to provide. And when I did that, it got me thinking, well, let me grow my business. While my son grows stronger, my business will grow stronger. It was just hand in hand.
Yeah.
When he sleeps, I'll work. When he's awake, I'll see to him. And that's how I balance my business, self-employed business, with looking after him.
So did you start it like at home, basically?
The first 3 months, it gets more gruesome. When I first started, my mum was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, man.
And so whilst I was doing forensics accounting, because there was a demand during that time, I moved in with her. And my son was just recovering from his heart surgery.
Yeah.
So whilst she was ill, and I gained a couple of clients, but then when she passed away in March, my way of mourning was just dive into the business and work hard. And I actually start working hours overtime around my son, of course, but I built my business within 3 months. From March to July, I gained my own offices, because you just do when you're signing up clients. You need to see them. And so no, I didn't spend more than 3 months at home.
So you set it all up, got it all rolling in 3 months, while all this stuff was going on in the family.
Yeah, I think my way of escape was work.
Yeah.
I don't deal with grief that well, so for me it was more like I have to get on with my life. I've got to be strong for my children, and I've got to work, I've got to earn. So I put all my heart and soul into working. It was difficult at one point because, again, I started part-time hours, part-time seeing clients to build the business, because I had to build it from scratch. It wasn't like I had clients laid out for me. I had to go and find clients through referrals. Had good people around me, they did the referrals. But to do the actual work, I could do it at home. You know, work till midnight, 2 a.m. in the morning. And that was my routine for a few years.
How did you find that? You know, like when you're working at KPMG, the kind of clients just come because of the brand and because obviously they're big businesses, they're normally large and medium to large businesses. Getting out into, you know, the Wild West, getting out into the big wide world. Did you find that really difficult to start getting clients initially? Was it a different culture?
Of course it was. It was a totally different culture. KPMG was multi-million-pound companies. It was given to you. It's just there. You get on with your day's job. But suddenly you've got a sales hat on because you are your own salesperson, your own boss. And I still use that technique up until today when I'm advising clients how to run their own business, how to start it off and grow it. You've got to organically grow it, and you've got to meet the right people who will refer to you. And you have got a point of proof. You've got to be very good quality of work. You've got to produce outcomes for you to be referred to their relatives. And it was all by word of mouth. I got very close with the banks, Barclays Bank. They were referring me a lot of clients. So I was seeing probably about 4 to 5 clients a day, new ones, 5 days a week. And I built 50 clients over 3 months.
Brilliant.
And they were small. Some of them were slightly big. Probably the biggest I ever had back then was a barber shop, a salon. And up until now, he's still one of my oldest clients. He was a French-speaking client, couldn't understand a word he was on about. So we used to do a lot of sign language.
Bet you understood figures.
Yeah. And then I said, do like this. Oh, I'll see. You know, he was like that all the way. He still is. His English is improved, but he's so loyal to me. My clients, when they're with me, they don't generally move. Unless they have financial problems or reasons to move or changes, they do move. But generally, you do keep your clients and you grow. It's like I've grown a massive community from the French, and then I've got our own Pakistani community, the Bangladeshi community, the Indian community, Punjabi community. But then I've got 90% is dominated by English people.
Really?
Majority of my clients are English.
Yeah, and that's is that from the banks from your previous colleagues? I think
it's because it's that corporate thing. When you work for a corporate organisation, you have a certain approach, the way you are with your clients, and they want a certain level of service, and it just works out really well for me.
No, I know what you mean. So have you always been based around Edgbaston?
All the time, and I think that's why I've acquired a building now in Edgbaston finally, after so many years, because with Edgbaston there's a lot of landlords going bust because they can't afford. There's many reasons why: high utility bills versus business rates. It's a difficult time for everybody. So I've acquired my own building now. We're established. Finally got my own building, and I'm here to stay in Edgbaston. Brilliant.
Because remember, because you went through a few moves, didn't you? And you were looking for the right place. But you've always been in the local area. It's
because of it's serviced offices. There's no promises. They move you around, and as an accountancy firm, you've got to show establishment. You need a base, and moving around, clients don't like that. They get very insecure. They don't like that. And you're saving money long term. If you're buying your own building, it's an asset.
As you know, my dad was an accountant. So all this is kind of like, all the story and everything, it's kind of like, it's very familiar. And my dad did the same. He was on Goose Street in Birmingham. And we ended up buying the 3 corners.
You do?
Off the road.
It's like a monopoly board.
I'm not moving because the clients won't like it.
They won't.
And then now, since my dad retired, they had to move out of there because of the congestion zone. Because then they didn't like driving in.
No, they don't.
So then I moved out, and now it's completely different. It's changed the whole feel of the business. It's completely different.
Of course it does.
So it is. That was what my dad used to say as well. You've got to have your own base, and you've got to be located here because the clients they'll drift off.
Yeah, they do.
They'll go somewhere else.
They do.
Or they go from the counter around the corner because they like coming here. It's so routine. So no, I understand that completely. So you've always been around Edgbaston. So I met you first at, I think, is the good old Chutney and Chat. So Abid will be pleased he's getting another plug because we always seem to. There's so many people that have come from that, so it's been brilliant. But So I would have met you around about 2016.
Yes.
So at that point, 'cause that's when I first went. So that's at that point, you 4 years in.
Yes, that's when I first started
quite
networking.
established, yeah. Oh, really? So I was going to ask. So when did you start
Rule
networking?
book.
You started then.
That was my rule book. Female, Asian. I've got everything going against me. Being an accountant, believe it, it's quite difficult, and that's a different story for a different day. But what I found as a woman is, when I left KPMG and I was looking out there, all I saw was men at one point, and I was just thinking, how do I level up? And I thought, right, I'm going to build my business, take some big brands under my name. So when I'm out there and someone asks me the question, what type of clients do you have?
Yeah.
I can give an honest answer. And all endorsements are very important, because when you're out there and you're engaging in networking, there'll be someone in the room that will say, oh, that's my accountant.
Yeah.
And that, by that word of mouth, it's a bit like a reassurance. And I use that model. And 4 years after my building my business, after 4 years exactly, I decided to network. And in 1 year, I must have doubled up straight away in business, which is great. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I was ready. I had great staff behind me. Having great staff, great platform, strong establishment. That means you're ready to take on the next level of business. And I had to build that.
To load it up.
Of course.
Yeah. So from 2012, when did you start taking on staff?
So the first year, actually 6 months. Six months into my business, I took on my first staff. He actually stayed with me for 7 years. He used to travel all the way from Tamworth every day. He was always late, but he was there somehow. He made it. And he moved for his family reasons. He had children. He wanted to be closer to home to do the school run. It made sense. But
things change, don't they? Yeah.
Things like that. But yeah, I started off with a little small room, a 2-desk office.
And now?
And now it's like 2,000 square foot.
Yeah, brilliant.
19 staff. Well, I had 19. I've actually gone down to 12 quality staff.
Yeah.
You move around, as you know. You have plenty of staff to turn over a staff. Then you realise you need half of them. We all go through as business owners.
Changes
no matter
all the
how
time,
perfect you are, you think you're making the right decisions when it comes to employees, and then it takes a while to get to, as a business owner, to understand what your business needs, what type of staff is good for you. So I've got 12 staff at the moment, just in my accounting side of the business.
Brilliant. So when you started all the networking, you obviously didn't stop at the networking. You've become part of quite a few organisations since then.
I know.
And how's that kind of come about? Because how did you get the time?
Well, good staff, great staff, efficient staff, and I think when you master your platform, your work routine, and you've got great staff. For any CEO, you should be doing 5%, and 95% should be run by your other staff. Which means if you're doing 5% and you contribute that 5%, for example, on finalising accounts, advisory, doing all the advisory with the clients, then it frees up you to do more other things. You've got the whole day. So I spend typically 4 hours a day just doing accounting, advising, walking around with staff, making sure they're doing a great job, making sure staff are happy, clients are happy. And the other 5 hours or 4 hours I have, it's all voluntary work. So it's people will approach you and you'll join boards, and from boards someone else will poach you. It's just the way it is. Once you're in one section, one sector, voluntary sector, you get a lot of people, a lot of opportunities come your way.
Because you're part of the University of Birmingham, aren't you?
The governor.
So you're doing the governor position.
Yeah.
What do you do there? How does that kind of fit in?
So how that fit in? So we all started from Asian Business Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
Thank you, Anjum Khan.
Yeah.
So she approached me to join a board many years ago, and
for the ABCC.
For the Asian Business Chamber of Commerce, and then I did my 4 years from a board member, became a vice president, became a co-president, and then just straight after that, whilst I was on there, UCB approached the chambers to say we need someone on our financial committee. And when they looked at my CV, they said, right, we don't want her on that. We want her on the committee, and we want her to be the trustee, and we want her to be the governor. So I have 3 hats at the University College Birmingham.
Brilliant.
So I do that,
Yeah.
and I have other roles as well.
Yeah, because you do the university stuff. How does that fit in? Because obviously you went the other route.
Yeah.
So
How does it fit in?
Yeah.
It's amazing. So universities now, especially University College Birmingham, they promote different type of education. They do higher education and further education. They do apprenticeships. They do degree apprenticeships.
Okay.
So I think that's the way forward. So the advisory, the financial committee, that's to do with my experience as being an accountant.
Yeah.
And the advisory comes from insolvency, you know, all the restructuring forensics. So that's why I was given that role, not because of how I started my journey. It's where my journey and my experience over the last 24 years have excelled from.
Yeah.
So that role came because I'm an accountant, not because of the university stroke college. I do a lot with colleges at the moment. So I do a lot of work with the likes of BMET, Joseph Chamberlain, Sandwell College.
Wow.
I do a lot of financial talks with the kids there,
Yeah, I've seen it,
directing
that, yeah.
them with career paths. Not everyone, especially in accounting and finance, do you really need to go through the route of a university? I will say no, you don't, because you can still become an accountant, then you could be a SEMA qualified, chartered, you could go into any routes from that, but you don't need to go through university to go down the accounting route. And I think kids need to know about that more.
Do you think you can get in, because I know that your route through was like really, really good, because obviously you got through to KPMG.
Yeah.
But if someone's looking to do that nowadays, do you think
Still
the big
happening?
firms, that was going to be my question, so you don't need
No.
a 2-1 from a degree?
A typical example, I take on kids and I use my own office platform to give them work experience, but I do a lot of mentoring with kids.
Yeah.
And part of that mentoring is giving them a direction, career direction. And out of all those kids, in this year, 2 kids have made it, one's made into E&Y and one's made into KPMG.
Brilliant.
And they're at college. They haven't hit university because I told them to apply as an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Because the grading's great. So if you get great A levels, and this is what I pitch when I go to colleges, you get great A levels, you're already in there, because all you have to do is apply, do the application to get in through the apprenticeship route.
Yeah.
It's highly paid as well. They like that. Kids love high wages.
Of course they do.
So, and I'm encouraging a lot
Yeah.
of kids to go down that route and get in. And they're all coloured kids. These are our own South Asian people, mixed race people, black people. And it's nice to see those kind of people going into KPMG, and I'm so proud of that. That's something very private to me, just seeing kids excel from A levels. So I'm always going to pitch that. I do struggle with university students, but again, we get them the job, but they still need to excel like an apprentice.
Yeah. Wow. So you're finding it difficulty with the university students?
Yes. Especially in accounting and finance.
Yeah.
Because I feel that I think they regret why they didn't choose the apprenticeship routes. They know it because they're getting the experience from me. They're looking around, they're thinking, right, I'm a graduate, I'm nearly a postgraduate, and I'm still struggling to get a job, and I don't get figures, because it's all about numbers and experience, and you need that whilst you get your qualifications.
Yeah, of course.
And half the time when you're in university, you don't get that, because
It's all theoretical,
very,
isn't it?
Of course it is. And getting a placement, a paid placement.
Yeah.
We can talk about minimum wage all day long. We could talk about wages. Minimum wage, a lot of employers try and shy away from that, because a minimum wage is something like nearly 22,000 a year for anyone that's above the age of, I think, 18 now, or 20.
Yeah.
When you're 20, 21, your minimum wage, national minimum wage, is national living wage, which is like £11.44 an hour.
Yeah.
Employers don't want to pay someone that much if you're not experienced. They prefer to pay someone an apprenticeship wage, which is far less. That's for the SME, but for the corporate world, if you've got good grades, you now have to compete to get in amongst thousands of kids. So it's quite difficult to get into the Big Four nowadays if you don't have the right grading or the mindset, because you've got to do a lot of competence tests to get into the Big Four.
Yeah.
And I think kids don't know that. No one prepares them for that. So that's why I work with kids in the background to try and get them prepared for it. And that's just all voluntary stuff, by the way.
Is that part of the youth charter? Is that is that different? Is that something else?
I'm the trustee for youth charter.
Yeah.
That's to do with getting kids off the streets and getting them a better opportunities, career guidance. I sit on the financial committee for the trusteeship of youth charter, but again, I'm passionate about kids. I want kids from disadvantaged areas to get the same shot as anyone from a privileged background.
Yeah.
So youth charter gives me access to those kids that stem from where I was from. So it's very close to my heart, and I think that's why I'm involved with the youth charter with Jeff Thompson.
Brilliant. How long have you done that? Is that in Birmingham as well?
That's
last year?
That's been 1 year since I've been involved.
And where do they kind of operate from?
They're from London.
Oh, from London?
They're from London. They focus on certain areas, key areas: London, Birmingham, Manchester. Birmingham, they really are focused on, especially with the recent stabbings and everything that's happened over the last decade. Yeah. They really want to get the kids off the street, educate them more, give them a bit of pathway to education, further education, and the ones who are struggling with further education, support them. That's what Youth Charter is there to do.
And is that part of your, because on your company now you've got your academy?
Yes.
Is that
training academy?
Kind of push them through your academy? Is
so
that the same thing? Or?
So my SME Training Academy, my other organisation, that's for anyone really, upskilling staff. So the voluntary work I do for kids, that's more for kids that I do. That's nothing to do with my training. They get that free experience work coming to my organisation, but the Training Academy is more to do with upskilling staff in organisations like, for example, yours. It could be customer service, it can be accounting, it can be sociology, it could be any level, but what we try and do is keep people at work, upskill them to get jobs. And because I get a lot of people just knocking at my door for jobs, and I see a lot of CVs, we've become like a free recruitment agency, because we like to help people get into jobs. And employers out there are looking for good, hard-working people. So we like to spot talent. So I use SME Outsourcing to spot talent, help kids, inspire them. But then the Training Academy, that's private. That's more to do with, it's government funded, and we help businesses just upskilling their staff up from level 1 to up to level 7 in management.
Is that like government backed? So it's all government funded?
It is. We're commercialised, but I feel that, and again, I'm going to go by what's right for clients, and where I feel that we can get something funded, I'll try my best, because if there's funding available for training, why pay for it? You know, and we're here to save money for SMEs. Yeah,
no, definitely. So that's the kind of training side. I read on your bio that you're building it's like the finance side.
Yes, so I've got a business partner, so I can't do everything on my own. Yeah. So the Training Academy is looked after by my business partner, who deals with, he's got 27 years experience in training. The finance company is run by my other business partner, financial services, that's what we are. We're FCA regulated to give lender mortgage for brokerage for anyone, whether it's residential or commercial. It could be a business loan. Yeah. We do all of that. Because I'm a specialist in cash flow forecast and business planning, it just goes nicely, hand in hand. It does. So when clients come to me and they say, we need a house, I'm thinking, you're not ready yet. Yeah. And they've got a difficult mortgage broker, it makes it difficult for me. And I always wanted my own financial service company. It just makes sense. If I'm helping people get mortgages,
it connects, isn't it?
Then you need a fantastic mortgage broker, and I've got a great team behind that.
And you can then help with the paperwork, you can help with all the stuff.
Yeah, and I help clients, and so far no one's gone without a mortgage.
Brilliant. How long have you been doing that?
That's been over a year. It's doing really well, yeah. It's
been busy, then?
It is, but you got to have the right people with you. You can't do everything on your own.
Yeah, of course. And you found, as the years have gone by, have you found that, as you said before, you kind of find the people that you need and you know what you need?
Spot talent.
Yeah, and obviously you've got good at that.
Yeah.
So the financial services side of things, what's that kind of lead? What's your kind of, the deal size?
Right. Deal size, the last one we did 64 million. We
Wow,
got,
okay.
we got lending for 64 million.
What was that for? Was
Santander will be very happy with that. I think
Yeah.
they know who I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
that was just one. Just recently we did that one. There's another one with Lloyd's. So we have access to everyone. We have access to 200 lenders, and High Street being our first, because if they offer us, we go where the best rate and the best package for the client. It could be that the client's got very bad credit rating or poor accounting. So not all clients come from me. They come from my network and my connections, word of mouth. Help Amina. As soon as they say help, I know exactly how to model them or model the business.
Brilliant.
And the finance is one of the key. So it's all about surviving business, not breaking them. And that's how I deal with it. And that all comes from the whole model, the way I've set it all up. My inspiration came from KPMG. Because when I was at KPMG, we had all departments. We had an audit department, we had the tax department, we had the restructuring, we had the forensics, we had the tax VAT department, HR, payroll. And I saw the model and I thought, right, we don't have this in the SME world. I want this. So when I set my firm, I named it SME Outsourcing, just for that label.
It's not just accountancy.
It's just not accounting.
Yeah.
But I had to build that brand to then get the attraction for the right people to join me to say, Amina, we want a piece of that. Where do we start?
Because you know what, can I be honest, when I first heard the name, SME Outsourcing, I thought, what does she do?
Yeah.
Is she an accountant? Then someone said, oh, you're an accountant, you're ex-corporate accountant. I was like, all right, okay. Now,
But why that name?
She must do other stuff.
We do, because when businesses are at a certain level and they've got over 100 staff and they're stressed, the first thing they think is, I've had enough, I want to outsource everything. Amina, Unity Engage. And that's how we get bigger clients. So we don't just do accounting and taxation. Sometimes we just take over the finance department and we work with their finance department and we improve it. So people will say, well, are you our CFO? No, I'm not. I'm your accountant. You could be our finance director. No, I don't want to be that. My license won't allow it. But what we do is they outsource their finance department to us. So we deal with all the payroll. We've got payroll specialists. We deal with the VAT returns. We deal with the bookkeeping. Bookkeeping, they normally hire the bookkeeper. We train them at that level. What the CEO wants that person, because we want to hand the business back to them at any time.
Brilliant. And with the private, with the finance bit, you do the regulated, obviously, lender mortgage and lender loans. Is there any element of like private equity? Is there any kind of equity debt in there?
We are looking into all of that.
Thought you might be.
We are, and that's my next project. So we'll announce it hopefully in the next 6 months, what we're doing. But what we're trying to do is, my job is safeguard the client. And because I'm an accountant and I run an accountancy practice, I'm a practitioner with a license, I've got to be very careful. So everything has to be regulated and licensed. So, and we want the right people to get the lending from with affordable rates. That's what my main aim is.
Yeah, that's it. So you're not like a high rate distressed lender or anything like that?
I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
I'd stay away from that. There's always a good deal and there's always a way out without going to high distress level. We do a lot of bridging and that's because clients want to quick turnaround on a property. We do a lot of property taxation. I'm a property tax specialist. It comes with the label of what we do. Where there's a business owner, they're definitely going to have properties because that's the way out. You know, we do a lot of tax planning around exit planning, and with that comes lending at some point. So it all kind of fits in now. You can see, and a bit of training because they're growing their organisation. They need the right staff, so it all just fits in like a glue.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
you can see that. Yeah, because I have got the family background of accountancy.
Yes.
I've seen how, at the time, it was fine, because obviously my dad was looking after micro businesses, small businesses, so they just had VAT, payroll and accounts. But there's all this element of stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're saying. They all had properties, they all needed mortgages, they all needed finance. So it's just outsourcing it to people. So they had like Roger, the mortgage guy, they had this guy for the insurance, they had that guy for this. And that's how it used to work before at that level. So I can really see how you're kind of evolving. Kind of the Asian.
I've got another department that's soon to announce, not yet. But again, I've got to find the right people because I've got to work with people before I say, do you want to join? Because I might not like the way they work. Or,
of course.
And it's all about code of conduct and you've got to be ethical. These are the things when you're dealing with certain clients, they want the same level of service, whether it's accounting or whether it's finance. When they're speaking to your business partners, they have to sound similar.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they get very uncomfortable.
Talk the corporate language.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's how I retain clients, by the way.
Yeah.
That's my secret. I think a lot of accountants always say, what is your secret?
Yeah.
It's just, we deal with pretty much everything. We just have the right people dealing with it. Just give them shares.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you kind of mentioned it already, but do you feel that moving into KPMG, learning their models, seeing everything, do you think that's influenced you? Is that where you kind of come from?
That's where I got my inspiration from. If I didn't work for a corporate accounting firm, I wouldn't have thought about this whole department sectioning in different divisions, because that's all from KPMG. It's not from a small organisation. You know that, how accountancy, a typical accounting practice work.
Yeah, old school.
And when you see it, and now that I've got 26 years experience, it's taken me that long. It took me 14 years just to
learn it all.
Learn
immerse yourself,
learn and understand industries. Because you could be a good accountant with qualifications, but do you understand businesses and industries and how to safeguard them? And over the last 12 years in my own business, whatever I set out to do, it's already happened, and my journey continues.
That's the thing. It's very admirable what you've done, because you've worked through the careers. You've kind of worked in the trenches. Yeah. You've done everything. Do you think the youth of today and kind of new generation, do you think they'd put that graft in? Do you think there's a problem nowadays?
I've come across 60 employees over the last 12 years, and they all come with different thought patterns. It's very difficult to pick out. If I had those 60 employees right now, I would have grown probably 10 times bigger than what I am now. Yeah. And the reason why is staff makes a massive difference. Now, if they're not ambitious, we have to drill it in now. Before it was like, so someone drives a nice car, oh, great role model. Now we have to kind of explain it. I don't know, this generation of kids, how the thought pattern works, but they definitely need inspiration, or they definitely need talking to, they definitely need mentoring. And that's why I offer that mentoring, because I spot talents for my own organisation that way. So I don't believe in the recruitment agency. I've gone down that route. I've been very disappointed in the calibre of people that are qualified to do a job, but they don't do a good job. So I thought, right, okay, if I nurture them enough and I give them a good pay package, they'll stay. They'll stick around long enough for me to grow my practice to the next level. So it is difficult to spot talent. You don't see it, but when you do, you make room, you create a job for that person.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. But do you think have you, like with your own kids? Yeah. How are you? Because how old are they now?
So I've got a 14. He's 15 now. My
15,
son.
Your son.
He's doing well. He's actually gone for the trials for West Bromwich. He's done really well with his health. Yeah. And my daughter, she's 17, and my eldest, she is 22, 23. Growing up now. Yeah. So my daughter's 17, she's becoming 18. Yeah. She wants to be a mad scientist, amazing. She doesn't want to do accounting. So the kids don't want to do accounting, which I don't blame them. That was going to be
my question. So well, obviously you're not leaving any accounting route, you have to be an accountant. No. So you're letting them
Every parent dream is to replicate yourself in your child. I'm sure your dad would agree with that. But then...
I went off
let loose. You let them loose and let them fly and let them be happy. But one thing I won't tolerate, and my kids know me, you can't be a lazy bum. You got to go out and you got to work. And that's the environment I was brought up. My dad was a great business person. And
because you mentioned that before, so you say your dad was an entrepreneur.
Yes.
What kind of work was he in? Was it the traditional?
God. So he was probably, he was very good, when he first came to this country. In the 1970s he came. Yeah. And he was like everyone else, and I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with this. Yeah, yeah. He was everything, he had a watch shop, clothes shops, textiles. He was into properties, snooker halls, cafes. He was everything. But sadly, he got stabbed in the belly.
Oh my God.
And he was left there. intensive care unit for 6 months, because his intestines, they had to rebuild his stomach back. And during the time when he came out, it was tragic, and he lost everything. So I wasn't born in wealth. I was actually born in the end part of his wealth, going into poverty. So it was quite hard. My mom, my brothers, they had to see all of that. He lost everything just overnight. And back in those days, the land registry document was, anyone can sign off anything. Things were taken off him. It was really unfortunate what he went through. He lost everything overnight. He was well equipped with everything. He was probably one of the top businessmen in the Bangladeshi community. That's that was my dad. But then
and he was always in the Birmingham area.
Yeah, he supported Claire Short. He was a very good, he was a right politician. My dad was into politics. He housed people. He helped the homeless. That was my dad. And even when he lost everything, he spent years and years trying to rebuild it. And I think when I saw him, he looked like a madman at one point. Just watching him lose everything and trying to get back on his feet. But then my brother, when he was involved in a car accident, when he passed away, my dad never recovered from that. And I think at that point I was 8 years old, ready to take on the world, thinking I need to grow up very quick and I need to focus on my own life because nothing's going to be given to me. I need to work for it. I was afraid. I think with sheer just being frightened as a young girl, I built myself the way I did just because I needed safeguarding, because I felt that it's a crazy world out there, and then being involved, we had to move into Handsworth at that point, and it wasn't the best area to be brought up. Where there was a lot of stabbing, you saw a lot of crime. It just frightened us to death. It just literally got me to think, I don't want to be here. I want to change. I don't want to be part of this culture, this society. I want to be different. And that's when I embarked on my journey. And even at college when I was getting bullied. I don't understand why I was getting bullied, but then the best ever decision I made was taking that apprenticeship route, because you get to mix with professionals, they treat you.
How did that come about? Like, was it from the college itself, or was it?
It was crazy. It was
yourself?
Just a friend on the street says, I'm part of this. And back then, I remember we had no mobile phones. I had to dial those telephone boxes. I dialed the number from Yellow Pages and says, "Hi, are you doing any training services? Come in tomorrow." got on the bus, and there you go. And that was my journey. No one else told me what to do.
So that kind of meeting on the street, where
it was
said,
walking past somebody from my school to say, "I'm doing this training course. Where are you doing it?" In town at this place. And I thought, right, okay. Went home, memorised it, looked into the Yellow Pages, and then I don't think we even had a phone line. I think that's when I actually...
You went to the phone box?
Went to the phone box to make a call.
So was your father, so after he got stabbed and stuff, was he just very ill after that?
He was very
really
ill.
Recovered?
I think losing a son, our eldest, I think that's what really knocked him back, knocked both of my parents back. So as we were growing up, we never really had much parental guidance. So we were on our own, just 5 of us, so young, doing our own thing. And that's where my dream began, just thinking, I can't do this, I can't be here. I need to be something. My mom suffered with, she had a really bad mental breakdown after losing her son. And just seeing her lifeless, I just thought, what can I do to help, and how can I be me, because I don't like what I see. And this was me being at the age of 8. So you get inspired, you find your role models. When you don't want to be in a situation where you're not comfortable with, you just move away. And that's what I did.
And to give you that drive to do it.
That drive has always been with me all the way. And I think that's why I do the hours, I work the hours. I don't stop. I create room for people from disadvantaged areas, give them that opportunity to say, look, if I can do it, so can you.
Wow, it makes sense completely now. It all kind of clicks together, because again, I didn't know any of this before. So no, thanks for sharing. It's really, I know it's very emotional.
I'm fine, honestly. When you talk about it regularly, it becomes more of a podcast.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm very much touched with the disadvantaged areas. A lot of people, you had wealth, then we didn't, and then we rebuilt it again. We built it through our own paths, I'm sure everyone's got their own journeys and stories to tell. This is my story.
No, it's brilliant. And I can see now why you take that ethic into your clients and helping them and helping so many people. So that's brilliant. Hats off. No, it's been really good. So what's next? Apart from the more and more divisions of the business?
British Heart Foundation.
Yeah, of course, that's the latest.
Yes, that's the latest. So, so after my son had his heart, every single time I speak about something, there's always been a tragic behind it. And I shouldn't be smiling, but I'm doing it because I look at life with positive.
No, but that is fantastic because you're turning a negative, and I think everyone could take a lesson from this. You're turning a negative situation, a negative scenario, and you're doing something about it, and not just for yourself, to help others. So
to help others.
Brilliant.
My son, when he had his open heart surgery as a baby, he shouldn't have survived. They said he's a miracle. Heart doesn't regenerate. You know, once it's damaged, it can't be regenerated. You can replace it if you're lucky, or you have multiple surgeries. But for some reason, someone's looking up, at me and helping me, and I'm very grateful for having a son who's not only overcome his heart surgery, they had to reconstruct his heart. So he was born with a rare disease, rare defect, where he didn't have a left and right chamber. His heart didn't look like a heart. So they had to reconstruct it and make a chamber for left and right atrium. And he had other complications. He had too many membranes. They had to cut a lot of flesh away from his heart to make it, mold it, to make it look like a heart. So when they said they'll operate on him, they said that the survival rate if he survives, he'll be brain damaged. And I was quite happy to just accept that. And I thought, right, okay. And he was only 8 months old baby. So as he was growing up, I wanted to always do something with, I did a lot with Birmingham Children's Hospital, did a lot of charity work for them. But what I found was that behind the research of any defect, it has been British Heart Foundation. Did you know that?
No,
all the research, all the cures, all the research, that's all British Heart Foundation. And it's government funded, 49%, and the rest is donations from the community, the public. So BHF approached me a few years ago because in the background I do a bit of other charity work. So they approached me. They said, all right, we've got a problem and we need you to address it. I says, what is it? They said, you're coming away from the Chamber of Commerce, because that's when I actually stepped away from being a president of Chamber of Commerce.
ABCC,
Just when I stepped down, they approached me to say, how about you become our CEO for the British Heart Foundation for the Asian Business Board? And I said, well, why is that different from the main board? They said, we have 12 boards around the country, they're all business boards. But what makes this unique is we focus on the South Asian community. And I said, okay, so why are you focusing? What are the stats? They said 52% of UK stats is South Asian people suffering with cardiovascular disease. And we're only 7% of our population, of the UK population. And I was completely horrified, and I thought, well, I can't turn my back away from this. My son's doing really well. If I walk away from this, it will be manslaughter for me, because knowing the stats and our community are dying. For example, COVID. If you look at the stats, South Asian people were were affected because they had underlying issues that hasn't been detected. Now, if that's 52% detected, I don't want to know what's not undetected. And yet, we rely on the NHS. NHS is falling apart. We're not getting tests done. BHF have done tests on a typical English, white, Eastern European person, but not on a woman and not on a South Asian person. So they actually brought it to my attention to say, how can we help? But we need your help. You need to raise awareness, and B, I said, you need funds, don't you? They go, yes, that will help, because any money that you raise from the South Asian community, you're allowed to ring fence it. So I've actually opened up a separate bank account now for the BHF, just so that any funds we raise for the South Asian people goes into that pot. And they said to me, and then we will tell you what we need to spend it on, but you make the choice. So I said, look, I don't want to make the choice. I'm not responsible for UK, but I'll get the boards to make the choice. So I've set up Birmingham. It's still growing, by the way. We're getting lots of interest. A lot of people want to join the board. And these are people from good solid background who want to give back. And the good thing about this model is, what am I good at? Networking, getting people together in business. So I thought, right, okay, we want to fundraise, we want to raise awareness, but let's do a bit of networking. We'll fundraise through networking. As businesses meet, any proceeds from that will go towards our donation pot, and then we can ring fence that for facilities. For example, Birmingham doesn't have any facilities for free health check for the heart.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to implement at the moment. Bradford's already doing it with their own money, and that person's coming to see us very soon.
They're setting up a clinic for the BHF.
For BHF to fund it.
Okay.
For free health check for our South Asian. Well, for everyone really, because everyone's going to benefit from it. But because it's predominantly South Asian, 52% are living in Birmingham alone. They're going to need it the most. And also, it's a free heart check to see if your heart's working in the right ECG checks, blood pressure checks, all the regular stuff. But there's also going to be scanning machines as well to check the heart. And if there's anything that's abnormal, then that's a referral directly to the NHS. Yeah. So we'll be keeping NHS busy.
It's life-changing. It's life-saving.
But it's going to be saving lives.
Yeah.
So can you imagine, under the age of 35, we're losing 13 people a week.
Under 35?
Under the age of 35, currently we're losing 12 to 13 people a week.
From undiagnosed heart condition.
From dying from heart attacks.
Wow.
So we can do something about that. So it's not where we've just got diabetes, not cholesterol. It's actually getting to the heart and doing something about it. It could be that they need a stent or a pacemaker. Yeah. And I don't want people to feel afraid about it, because
we should get the checks.
We should get the checks.
We've got it.
Because it's not going to go away.
Yeah.
The heart won't fix itself. And the more longer you leave things, the more damage you do to your heart.
Yeah. Coming from like my own parents.
Yes.
My dad's had a stent. My mum's had triple heart bypass.
She's stayed at 52%.
Yeah, they're in that, and we will be too,
BHF have found a cure for heart disease. They found the DNA that can reverse it. That can be reversed. So, for example, my son has been born with a defect. Most likely, he'll be giving that gene to his children. So, they have found all that. But it's a matter of getting the money together to get those out. So, we don't do enough as South Asian. For me, I'm quite embarrassed as a South Asian person. I'm not doing enough. So, that's why I'm stepping up. And I'm actually pledging for every person out there to say, I know we're supporting the world. I know we have to care for everyone. But can we help ourselves or help our relatives or auntie and uncle G down the road who need this? And why do we need to wait for certain level when someone actually needs to have a cardiac arrest before we actually help them? 9 out of 10 don't survive from a cardiac arrest.
It needs to be preventative.
Yes.
Yeah.
And PHF got the cures for it as well. And they're working very closely to labs and pharmaceutical companies. They fund all of that research. But I also want facilities now. So I can't do this on my own. I'm actually pledging to everyone to help. And the more we can do it as collectively.
I was about to say, so, with the BHF, with the Asian board, because you're doing loads of events this year, aren't you?
Yes, I am. It's already
what kind of support do you need?
So I've already spread it out, and next year I'm already planning next year out. And as a CEO, my job is to create boards around the country. So the board in Birmingham is going to run it, but I have to lead by example. Yeah. So 19th of Feb, we've got a business networking event. It's already sold out, 100. Yeah. We're actually getting more inquiries today. But then we've got another one in April, the ones who's missed in February. Yeah. We're getting counsellors and high-level people who come into this, who's going to make an impact for their own community. So we want business leaders and counsellors to come forth, support this, because you're going to, and radio stations, they're promoting it. Thank you, Club Asia. They were doing a great job. Every hour, they're promoting this, by the way. And this is all done voluntary as a donation to support BHF, Asian community. So we're having an event throughout June. We're having quiz for people that like quiz nights. We're having football tournaments in July, and we're having our fundraising gala dinner 11th of September at the Motorcycle Museum for us all to attend. Ticket sales are gone out now. I think we've got table sales more than free tickets.
Yeah.
It's very limited, the individual tickets, but all the proceeds, I'm going to make sure this all goes directly into the for BHF.
Fund, yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. So what we'll do, we'll put all your contact details and links, everything with the video. So obviously, hopefully we can help get the word out.
Absolutely.
And if you are selling out, you should maybe increase the size of your events.
I know. Well, we're doing that, and then next year. But I think the gala dinner will be a great way, because I feel that when you're at that philanthropy level where you want to give back, and you don't want to go to awards anymore because you're tired, then come to us instead. Yeah. We're quite happy to take your money because it's going to go towards a great cause. Yeah. And it's all about giving back. And I'm so fortunate, and I'm so overwhelmed with the support we're getting. Not even from Birmingham, we're getting Manchester and London already part of our board, let alone, and they're buying into the contributing towards the black tie gala dinner, which is amazing. So not only are we creating a great platform for good people, good-hearted people to network, but all that funds goes straight into, all of it goes into a charity, and it's all for the British Heart Foundation, Asian community.
Busy year for you.
I'm booking up my diary right now to everything.
I think because it's been hard to coordinate a date, and now I know why.
You can see
why. You've got a very busy year ahead of you. No, but it's absolutely fantastic. The BHF stuff, if we can support, if people can support, we will put the links out, and
that'll be fantastic.
People can reach out to you, and hopefully support. Get the tickets in for the gala dinner. So that's September 11th.
September the 11th,
National
Black tie,
Motorcycle Museum,
gala dinner. There'll be live entertainment, everything, and it's all great people coming together under one roof.
Brilliant. So that's the first event of this year. It says it's going to be one every year. You're just going to increase the events.
It's happening. I'm already planning next year.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So let's move on to the next thing. You're here today. I know you're very passionate about cars.
Yes.
And could you talk to us about your car journey? Because through your career, as you've progressed, how have you kind of gone?
So I started off with a Lexus, which I couldn't drive when I passed my test at the age of. I was late. I didn't pass my test very quickly.
You used to get the bus.
And I hated it. So when I did pass the test, the Lexus was my first car. Absolutely.
What point in your career was that? Was that KPMG?
At the start, no.
Was
before
it?
KPMG.
Before, yeah.
I still had a good job, good paid job prior to KPMG.
Before KPMG,
So I couldn't drive it. I actually couldn't drive the bloody car. I ripped the whole bonnet out the first time. I took it out of my drive. It was IS200.
IS200,
Lexus. Back then it was
my sister had one.
Yeah, absolutely.
The best.
And then I thought, right, I don't care about cars. I'm going to get a Polo. Honestly, and the Polo was the best thing, Volkswagen. That served me for years into my business. And it's when my client, one of my clients, is actually a Mulvisab, holy man. He goes, Beta, you need to do something for me. I said, what is it? He said, you need to change your car. I'm ashamed of your car. He says, why don't you sell it to me for about £1,000?
So he's really after your car?
He drove it for another 10 years. Honestly, those Polos don't break.
Trust the Polos.
I said, what's wrong with my car? He goes, oh, you're my accountant. No. He's a property owner, and he owned he pretty much owns half of Hallam Rock. So I said, okay. And so I started looking into cars, and I thought, right, I could do with I want to drive a 4x4, but I was really scared. So I got an Evoque. That was my first ever car. I drove that for a few years, and I thought, right, okay. And every time when I used to go to Land Rover, I used to look over at the sports, the Range Rover Sports, and I thought, can I drive that car? It's too big for me. I just feel I can't drive it. And then, in my industry, because there's a lot of men who talk about cars all day long, you pick up on cars, and you pick up on, the car, if you got a good car, then you're the Don or something like that. So I thought, one day, I was in a mood. I decided just to build my own car. So I built my own Range Rover Sports hybrid. I built it from scratch, loved it, submitted it, and before you know it, the car came. It took 9 months to come over. Loved it. Loved the Range Rover.
That was a white one, wasn't it?
Had it for 4 years, and then for personal reasons, I had to give it away just for a month. And I thought I didn't have my new car ordered, because to order the new Range Rover you need another 9 months. So I thought, right, let me just get any car. So I picked that Q7 that terrible Q7.
Terrible
You
Q7.
can say whatever you want, but that Q7 doesn't do, for me, it doesn't drive like the Range Rover. It doesn't glide. You know, if you've driven a Range Rover, any other car, I don't think you can match it. I'm sure a lot of you will disagree. I've driven the Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like the Q7. I'm in love with the Range Rover Sports. So I'm going back, I'm sorry, to my Range Rover.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't believe you don't like the Q7. Q7 is like, from our perspective, because we've had Q7s and they're so like reliable. I know what you mean though. They're very like utilitarian almost.
It's very boring.
Yeah, they do the job.
And when you do put your foot down, I feel as if I'm floating, whereas the Range Rover grips the floor.
You feel more connected.
It's more sturdy, especially if you're going around bends. I feel safer with the Range in comparison to the Q7.
Q7 is a bit more floaty.
It is, and it does consume a lot of fuel.
Really?
Was
they both petrols or?
Yes, they're both petrol.
Hybrids?
The Range was a hybrid. I hardly got it charged. It wasn't even worth the charge.
Yeah.
But I felt that the Q7 drinks a lot of fuel. Probably as equivalent as a Range Rover, but it's not worth it. I would say if you want to drive a car and spend money on fuel all day, go for a Range Rover Sports.
How about the insurance and the?
It's not much difference because I think about a couple of grand difference a year. I mean, for some people they'll probably say, "Oh my God,
that's a lot."
That's a lot." I'm thinking it doesn't matter. If you've got a car like that, you've got to set aside money for repairs. As you know, I came to you when I ripped my side of my bloody Range Rover. But I prefer the alloys, the wheels on the Range Rover last the better, 100 times better quality than the actual wheels on the tyres on the Q7 by far, because I drive recklessly and I drive like a mad person, and the Range Rover has always, nothing ever gone wrong with my tyres. Whereas the Q7, I just touched the side of the curve and that's it. Kind of was ready to explode at one point.
That's the tyre itself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrible.
Say that. My sister had the same issue with her Q7. She used to hit the sides of the curbs and potholes and used to blow the tyres. Yeah.
Lightly.
She went through like six individual tyres with that car.
And the customer service Range Rover quality.
Really?
Yeah, in comparison to Q7.
So this is quite a contrast to what you usually hear about Land Rover. So it's very, big plug for Land Rover.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
You obviously sell a lot of cars, and they're not all lemons.
No.
So I think you had a good one.
No, it was a good car.
Yeah.
I would have got an SVR, but I feel that for me, you should just get all the boy racers trying to race you. I'm thinking, I'm a mom. I want to drive to work.
Yeah.
But I do like a good fast car, but it has to be sturdy. It has to be solid.
Brilliant. So back to the Range Rover then. As soon as the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, it will. And I think next year.
But as an accountant, are you not kind of pushing everyone into electric cars?
Okay, it saves you money. You pay your 2% P11D tax. It's amazing, but for convenience, I prefer fuel, because you don't, yes, you got more charging points, but it's still a headache getting that charged. But I think we have to future-proof ourselves anyway, because electric's the way forward, even though I find it very boring. I find electric cars like spaceships.
Yeah,
it doesn't have the same grasp as a fuel car.
Your opinion is very much echoed and mirrored by a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's apart from Jimmy.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, he loves his electric cars. So
I just feel that it's a bit. I don't know. It's not. I think when it comes to car, I do drive like a man. I've been told. So you got to know how to. With electric, it's like you can't do the same manoeuvres as you can as a fuel. I don't know why. It's because you can't hear the engine, or what is it?
So you can't get the feedback from the car and stuff.
You can't feel the car. You can't feel it. You need to feel your car.
Oh, I'm on your side. I'm going to resist it for as long as possible. So, but we have had guests who are big advocates for it, like Jimmy, like Abigail.
Yeah.
They love the electric cars. Yeah, Abigail actually promotes it.
Yeah.
She's a journalist, and she's promoting the
No,
EVs.
you got it. I think it's the way forward.
In the future,
For the future, you got to future-proof it. I'm getting everything installed. So I'm building my new house, and I'm building these electric portals, which I'm not going to use probably for the next 10 years. But we need to build it because it's the way forward. We will definitely have an electric car in the family
at some point.
Maybe I'll get a smart car or something that will do that.
Local stuff.
But it has my range has to be fuel based as well.
Until what if they stop offering them?
It's fine. I'll replace it then at that point.
So you go right to the last point.
Right at the end.
Yeah, brilliant. That's really funny. Thanks for sharing, and appreciate all your time today. It's been really good, and I've learned so much about you, and I know that a lot of people wouldn't have heard your background stories and everything. So, thank you very much.
No, you're welcome.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Hi guys, thank you for listening in, and if you like it, subscribe, like, and thank you very much, Multiserve Cameron. You're awesome.
Thanks very much for watching our episode today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. That was absolutely fantastic. If you do like content like this, do like, share and subscribe to our channel, and watch out for future podcasts. Thank you very much.